I'm going to work on this, stretching this mesh onto this wood frame that I already have. I found two like this that were pretty dirty, so I sanded them off and cleaned them up. I think they'll work for my print project. I'll have to build two more, but the two more I build will be a little bit bigger than this, but I think these will work. So I'm going to stretch this fabric on here, and I'm using just a regular Surebonder staple gun, Stanley staples, T50 staples work, and the way I do it is similar to stretching canvas. I'll start with this without pulling it at all over here. I don't know why this thing keeps popping off. And then I'll pull it over here, this side, just to make it even, fairly tight, fairly taut, I should say, fairly taut. Some people are totally untaught. But I go alternate back and forth. Diagonally. And then I'll come back to this one. And then I'll go over here to this one. And then I'll come over here to this one. And then I'll come over here to this one. Back and forth like that. Cross and cross. Back and forth, cross and cross. And this gets tighter and tighter. Right now it's pretty tight right in the middle, but I have to keep going out, stretching it as I go outward. And the long side, of course, is I'll come to the corner first, so I kind of have to space it a little bit more on the sides as I staple. So I got 5, 5, 4. Okay. One over here. One over here. Put another one over here. Put another one over here. Put another one over here. So when I'm pulling, I don't pull straight. I pull straight across and toward the corner a little bit. Starting to drip sweat here. I don't have my hat on to soak up the sweat. My head gets so hot. I'm kind of a hot head. I'm a real hot head. Now I've got, this corner is about the same. Let's put one over here. Let's put one over here. Let's put one over here. One over here. I think you can see the pattern, and that's the same way I stretch painting canvases to get it evenly stretched as best I can manually. But those screens that are on the metal frames, they have another bigger machine that does the stretching and gluing and attaching to the aluminum. I don't know what kind of glue that is they use, but it's good. It attaches it to the aluminum, and there ain't no getting it off. So I don't have the ability to do that, and I'm not sure I really want to. But this technique, as you can see from my abandoned printing project, this technique of stretching the screens is pretty good for me, and it actually works best for my needs. So, almost done here, stretching this one out. And you can see that's pretty tight. So I'm going to go around with my little hammer. Go around with my little hammer and tap all these staples flat. What I want to do is come back. I'll come back with some polyurethane. I'll put polyurethane over all the staple heads and the wood frames inside, and I may or may not come back with some tape, a piece of like paper tape over this, and then soak it again with polyurethane, and then on the inside of the screen, on the inside here where the ink is printed, to avoid getting ink up under there, I'll put a little piece of my plastic screen tape around the inside edge, and that should work fine. Well, that's how I do it, and I've got to do this one and one more today, and then I'll trim it off with a razor blade. I'll trim the fabric right along the edge, and then I'll start painting on the polyurethane. So I've got the two frames stretched. The fabric is on them. They're both pretty tight. And I did end up putting this paper tape on the seam where the staples are. This is dry enough to turn it over. I'll show you. On this side here, I put first I put some thinned wood glue over the staples, and then I use this gummed paper tape. It's like the old envelopes, stamps. Used to be that you lick. You have to wet them or stick them down. So this tape, I cut pieces of this tape, and this wide piece I cut in half, split it in half, and then I soaked them and put them in water, and I put them on top of that thin glue to cover these staples, and then I painted the edges with polyurethane, clear satin finish, and I've got the second coat on both of them now, and they're drying. So as soon as the polyurethane dries good, then I can come out here in the dark and take the emulsion, put the emulsion on the screens, and put them on the shelf in there to dry in the bathroom in the dark. They have to dry in the dark. Okay. Well, now that I've got those 4 screens all washed out, I've kind of got to decide what I'm going to do about these this screen print that I'm doing. I have to make 4 more screens using these stencils. These are my transparencies that I have to burn on the screens. I've located some screen mesh that I have to cut some pieces out of, and I found some frames, several of these different sizes, and so I think I need to clean them up a little bit and cut some of those pieces of mesh and stretch 2 more. I still need to buy some wood, I think, probably to do a couple more, but at least I can do 2, and I can get back on track with my print. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Start tomorrow. Well, I think I've been riding around enough. I believe it's time to print that first color with that metal frame. See how that works out. I got to cool off first. Whew. I don't think I want to continue with this. You know, I'm sure glad I got those screens stretched yesterday. The new screens I think will work fine. I'm happy now I can move on to the project.